Hello, and welcome to the NLWN 2 Time Machine. Join me as we take a trip back in time to the 1860s and some vintage baseball on NLWN 2.
NLWN 2 will now transport you back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball, featuring the Menomonie Blue Caps. And now, out to the park for vintage baseball, 1860 style.
Hello, and welcome to Pioneer Park, just outside of Cameron, Wisconsin, for vintage baseball, playing by the 1860s rules. And today, our game is featuring the Rum River Rovers, taking on the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars. Real quick look at the starting lineups for today's game. These players all go by nicknames, and so we will do the same. For the Rum River Rovers, we have Big Willie, followed by Jet. Batting third will be Bubba. Chopper is fourth. Ankles fifth. Nessie is sixth. Smug is seventh. Mongo is eighth. Ninth is Smalls, 10th is String Bean, and 11th is Two Bits. And for the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars, we have Sparky 2 leading things off, followed by Henry, then Jed. Batting fourth is Sparky. I guess they are not related, but have similar names. Then we have Ohio batting fifth. Sixth is Sea Legs. 7 is, well, at least the name is Ted Williams. Skinny is 8th. Justice is 9th. Eastside is 10th. Wildwood is 11th. Sugar is 12th. And 13th is Stash. And our arbitrator is giving a briefing to the spectators who are here. And this is actually the second game of the day here in Pioneer Park. And it's the first one that we're covering. The St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars are made up of the St. Croix team. They don't have a team nickname. Columbia Heights Quick Steps, the Menomonie Blue Caps, and the Newburyport Essex. And we are about to get things started, and leading things off, we'll go over some of the rule changes in just a moment. And first of all, there are no called balls or strikes. So you just wait for your pitch. Now, the arbitrator, which is what we in modern baseball would call the umpire, has the authority to call strikes if a batter is letting too many go. And there's a shot out into right field and caught on the first hop. There's the first rule change we want to refer to. That is, there are no gloves being worn. Therefore, if you catch the ball on the first hop, it is still an out. Or as we say using the terminology of vintage baseball, it is one hand. There's a ground ball over towards shortstop, scooped up there, throw over to first, and it's in time. That's going to bring up Bubba. As we get to the various rule changes, we'll cover them as best we can. There's a fly ball out towards center field, ranging over and fielding it on the first hop. And that's 3 hands down. And so at the end of a half inning, it's the Rum River Rovers nothing and the Blue Caps coming to bat on NLWN 2.
Sunset House Motel and RV Park in Port Mansfield, Texas, is your destination for your next fishing or hunting adventure. With 20 rooms available including condos and RV spots, Sunset House Motel and RV Park is the place where outdoor sports people stay when they're looking for fishing and hunting adventure. Sunset House Motel and RV Park is located only a few blocks from the dock and is within walking distance to all the local restaurants. Call them at 956-944-2182 to book your stay. That's Sunset House Motel and RV Park in Fort Mansfield, Texas.
And we're back here at Pioneer Park, heading into the bottom of the first round, as they call it. And leading things off for the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars is Sparky 2. And he watches a couple go over his head. And there's a fly ball drifting into foul territory. And it's caught on the bounce.
And dead. Cut on the first ball.
So, 1 away. And up steps Henry. And he pops one up. Lands fair territory, caught on the bounce by Mongo, who's the behind, which is what we nowadays call a catcher. So 2 hands down. That brings up Jed. Jed is part of that Newburyport, Essex. There's a shot out to second base, scooped up, throw to first, and it's in time. So we've played an inning, and we still have no score from Pioneer Park on NLWN2.
By your debt, so you can feel good about your money. Schedule time to get started at marinecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
NLWN2 is excited to bring you Colfax Viking football. Our next broadcast will be on Friday, August 28th, when the Colfax Vikings host the Elevastrom Cardinals. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 28th on NLWN2.
Heading into the top of the second inning. And for the Rum River Rovers, we have Chopper. He'll be followed by Ankles and Nessie. And there's a fly ball out towards center field, drifting back under it and making the catch. So that's one hand, and it brings Ankles to the plate. Thank you. And the first pitch comes up a little short, so Ankles takes a look at it. There are no balls. There are strikes. The only way to get a strike, though, is to swing and miss. Foul balls are not strikes. And we've been doing vintage baseball for a couple of seasons now, and I've yet to see a strikeout. Part of that, if I understand correctly, is if you do strike out, and if you do strike out, you have to buy a case of beer for your team. And so there is a sort of disincentive. Or maybe you have to buy it for the other team. Anyway, yeah, you're in for a case of beer anyway. Ankle still has not gotten something he wants to swing at. And the pitch. That doesn't get there either. And popped up and caught behind the plate.
Junk baller.
2 hands. And that brings up Nessie. And he watches the first one. And when I say behind the plate, in modern baseball, it's basically a pentagon. Well, in vintage ball, it truly is a metal plate, a round metal plate. And they had to retrieve that ball from under our broadcast truck. Dan Petchow on the camera, sitting in the bed of the truck, giving you the views of this game. There's a shot foul down the left field line. The arbitrator will not call a ball fair, or at least he's not supposed to. He will call it foul, however. So if he doesn't say anything, assume it's a fair ball. Watches that one a bit outside.
Trying to get in his head. What a fair game.
And there's a foul and not able to be handled by the behind. That one's a tad bit inside. And there's another one drifting foul, and it's caught on the fly. That's 3 hands. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base or something like that. We've played 1.5 rounds, and we still have no score on NLWN2.
Marine Credit Union is rewarding you for making on-time loan payments with our My Loan Rewards program. Take out a loan, open a checking account with a qualified direct deposit, and get money back. Chart your course. Get details at marinecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
NLWN2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menomonie Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, August 24th, as the Blue Caps will play at a vintage baseball event in Lawton, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, August 24th on NLWN2.
Now up is Sparky for the St. Croix vicinity All-Stars, and he sends one over towards third. It finds its way through out into left field, and we finally have a base runner. That's going to bring up Ohio. And that pitch is a little bit high. And he's still looking. And short little ground ball, throw over to first. That's in time. So it's one hand, but it did move the runner over to second. That brings up Sea Legs, one of the Menomonie Blue Cap members of the All-Stars. He hits a foul ball, and it lands a couple times. That one's a little high. There's a shot, foul territory, but it hit a couple of times, so another lease on life for Sea Legs. You can probably see the sawdust pile near home. The plate is actually right in the middle of that sawdust line. That sawdust line is kind of equivalent to the modern day batter's box. There's another shot out toward right field. It's going to be foul. Nope. It landed in fair territory and did get caught on the bounce, but it did move the runner over to third. So two hands down. Sparky on third, and it brings up Ted Williams, another member of the Blue Caps. And he fouls that one away.
Have not always said that. Remember, this is bad call.
And another foul into the spectators. Two hands with a runner on third. There's a ground ball up the middle. Can't be fielded by the shortstop, and an ace comes in to score. So the All-Stars go on top 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning, and Skinny comes to the plate.
Bell tower.
And he pops that one foul and caught behind the plate. So we've completed 2 innings or 2 rounds, and it's the All-Stars 1 and the Rum River Rovers nothing on NLWN 2.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And the Chippewa Valley Museum wants to remind you that you still have time to visit the exhibit US at 250. Now, this exhibit invites visitors to consider how objects, some common, some not so common, they connect us all from coast to coast. It also allows guests to think more deeply about the great American experiment. For more information, call the museum at 715-834-7871. Leading things off for the Rum River Rovers in the top of the third is Smug. He will be followed by Mongo and Smalls. Sugar is on the mound.
Wow. Sorry.
If you did catch our vintage baseball broadcasts from Carson Park earlier this season, there's a fly ball out towards center field, and it falls in. And so the first base runner for the Rovers, as I was saying, if you caught our broadcast earlier this year, Sugar did some color commentary for us. Some expert analysis. So Smug is on first. Mongo's at the plate.
Right. Oh, right. Oh, put that on. We still talk that. Not everybody. I'm married. Oh, geez, like that. So I don't know that. I'm smelling it. Yep. Oh, right there.
And there's a chopper over towards third, picked up by the shortstop. Long throw over to first to Stash, and he does not hang on to it. Runner heads to third. High throw over to third. And coming in to score is Smug.
No, he can score so he can run. Want to run?
So we are now tied at 1. No hands down. Smalls is at the plate. He's got a courtesy runner, which means the arbitrator puts a hand on him and will release him when he can run instead of Smalls. Pop up and caught behind the plate. So that's one hand down. Brings up String Bean. String Bean on temporary loan to the Rovers from the Menomonie Blue Caps for this game. That pitch is down low. And the pitch. He watches that one. And the pitch. There's a ground ball right back up the middle, and it gets into center field. Mongo checks in at third, and he's going to stay there. And String Bean ends up at second. That'll bring up 2-bit. And 2-bit watches the first one.
Oh, you stretch for that. He was testing you now. Yeah. You were improving it.
There's a fly ball. That's going to stay fair. It's deep. It's long. It's beyond the rope, and they're chasing it down. Everything is live. One run is in. Here's the second run in. And Two-Bit checks in at third with a triple. And it clears the bases. So that puts the Rovers on top 3-1. Back to the top of the order for the Rovers, and it's Big Willie. And that pitch is high. Two-Bit on third. One hand. There's a ground ball over to first. Stash tried valiantly to get it and was unable to. Run comes in to score. As Two-Bit came across, and Big Willie is safe on first.
I can't stand
There's a high pop-up. Coming in, making the catch, dropping it, and not able to hang on. Throw to second. It doesn't get there in time, and the runners continue to go. Big Willie is going to wind up on third as Jet ends up on second.
Yellow car. What? Hey, one. I got it.
That's going to bring up Bubba. There's a fly ball out into right field and caught on the bounce. And 2 runs come in to score. When it's caught on the bounce, you do not have to tag up.
I grabbed that.
And 2 hands down.
I'll take 2 RBIs by fly out.
That brings up Chopper. Chopper flew out to center field his last time up. And bases are empty. He's cringing that he watched that one go by. There's a shot that's off the hands of Stash, but he did catch it on the bounce for the third hand. So, bunch of runs that time by the Rum River Rovers. They picked up 6 runs that inning, and the new score, Rovers 6 and the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars 1 on NLWN 2.
Hello, Fiends. I will be happy to be your guide on NLWN TV and NLWN2's Halloween Spooktacular for 2026, where we will bring you some of the finest in Halloween-themed old-time radio programs from the golden days of radio. We will enjoy a visit to the Aldrich family, followed by that couple on Wistful Vista Lane with Fibber McGee and Molly. Then we'll hear from our favorite English teacher, our Miss Brooks. and wrap things up with an adventure with Sam Spade Detective. That's Halloween night beginning at 7 p.m. on both NLWN TV and NLWN2.
And we're back here at Pioneer Park between Cameron and Barron as we head into the bottom of the third inning, and Justice flies out. Brings up east side. And he pops it foul into the crowd. Unlike modern baseball, where the umpire has a pocket full of baseballs, here they have to chase it down. And back in the 1860s, it might have been the only ball they had to play with. There's another one off into the crowd. There's a ground ball over toward third. Throw over to first, and it's in time. Two hands, and Wildwood steps to the plate. And there's a ground ball right back to the pitcher and caught on that first bounce. And so we've completed 3 innings, and the score, the Rum River over 6, and the All-Stars 1 on NLWN 2.
When tech goes on the fritz and frustration kicks in, Sladen's technology where you trust he can. From nowhere to backups, we've got what you need. Call us up, we'll plant the seed. Sladen's on the way, your heroes in disguise. For businesses large and small, we're the ultimate prize. 715-864-2833, get the IT help you desire. Call 715-864-2833 today.
And we are back here at Pioneer Park. The arbitrator is having a chat with some spectators. But coming to the plate is Ankles. And he watches the first one. There's a fly ball out towards center field. Stash coming in and can't catch it on the bounce. So Ankles is going to check in at second as the ball into the infield got away from people. That's going to bring up Nessie. And there's a fly ball off towards right field. Off the tree, it lands fair. And beating him to first is the second baseman, but coming in to score is Ankles. Oh, no, he did not come in to score. My mistake. I didn't see him out there.
Say this is what you don't do, son.
So we have one hand down, fly ball over towards second. Caught on the fly, throw to second. In time, it's a double play. And so 3 hands, and that takes us through the top of the 4th, and the score remains Rovers 6 and the All-Stars 1 on NLWN 2.
NLWN 2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menomonie Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, August 24th, as the Blue Caps will play at a vintage baseball event in Lawton, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, August 24th, on NLWN 2.
And if you can't make it over to Lawton for that game, catch it right here on NLWN 2 on Monday the 24th. I remember doing the games at Lawton last year, and the best part of that were the pies that were there. They have outstanding pies. So leading things off for the All-Stars is Sugar. And he hits a ground ball over towards second. It's scooped up, flipped to first in time. That's going to bring up Stash. And there's a ground ball trapped at second, but Stash is going to be safe at first. Takes us back to the top of the order. Sparky 2. Or Sparky the second. Watches the first one. And there's a fly ball out into right field. It's a fair ball. Stash round second. He's going to stay there. Ball starts with 2 runners on. Brings up Henry. Fouled out to the catcher on the bounce his last time up. Actually, I think that was in fair territory that he caught it, but it was still on the bounce. There's a pop-up over towards second and making the catch. So we have 2 hands, and it brings up Jed. Ground ball, foul down the third base line.
Next one. Oh no! No! It went under the fan. It's like out. Yeah.
So they have retrieved the ball from under a van. There's a fly ball out towards center field, shallow center field, dropping back and making the catch. Here's the second baseman. And no runs that time around, and we've completed 4 innings. It's 6-1 Rovers on NLWN2.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
So to take things started in the top of the 5th inning, we have Mongo, Smalls, and String Bean. I checked that. I think this is Smug. Because that's the other rule The third out was actually made by Smug. So he leads off. Or check that. The third out was made by Nessie. And so even though Smug is the one who flew out, that was the second out, and the doubling Nessie off was the third out. So whoever made the third out is where the inning ended. There's a ground ball, and the throw over to first, and not going to be in time. So this is Mongo at the plate. Mongo got on and scored his first time up. Still waiting for a pitch to go after. There's one. He hits it out into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Rounding second, heading towards third is the courtesy runner for Smug. And Mongo is going to check in at second as the ball got away from the infield. So 2 runners on now. And Smalls
got one in here. That's what I did last time. It's how you wait now. Oh, I'm fine. It's okay too. No, that's all right. I might stumble on. Yeah, the top hat. Just
Smalls fouled out to the catcher his last time up. That one bounced off the plate and up over the head of the, actually it's the behind.
Yeah. Yeah, you ready now? Okay. All right, I'll tug in. Watch how fast I am.
A swing and a miss by Smalls. And there's a pop-up out into center field. It bounces a couple times. Stash was playing a little bit deep, and a run comes in to score.
Good board.
That puts the Rovers up 7-1. String Bean is at the plate. He got on and scored his last time up. And he hits a fly ball out into left field. Comes on one hop and is caught there, but the throw to the plate, not going to be in time. Run comes in to score. Mongo scores. That'll bring up 2 bit. Also got on and scored a run his first time up. 8-1 now. The Rovers on top. And there's a foul ball down the third baseline. Pretty steady breeze here, just outside of Cameron, Wisconsin. Broken overcast. That breeze is a tad bit chilly. There's a fly ball out towards right. Ball bounces and it's caught on the bounce. And that evidently is the third hand. I didn't catch how the other one happened, but at any rate, new score after 4.5. It's the Rum River Rovers 8 and the All-Stars 1 on NLWN 2.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Leading things off for the St. Croix vicinity All-Stars, and he grounds it straight back up the middle. Throw over to first is not going to be in time. He tripped over the bag. Is he going to get back? Evidently. As he hangs on to the base for dear life. That was Sparky, the original version. And coming to the plate is Ohio.
No strikes in Ohio.
Ohio grounded back to the pitcher his last time up. There's a fly ball out towards center field. Lands and it's caught on the bounce. Throw to second is not going to be in time. As Sparky ends up on second. One hand down. That brings up Sea Legs. Swing and a miss. And he watches that one go by. And there's a fly ball out into right field, foul territory. And it lands safely in the woods. As I mentioned before, foul balls do not count as strikes in vintage ball. Ground ball over toward first, picked up there, but not in time to make a play. And the runners will be on the corners. As Sea Legs is safe at first, Sparky's at third, and Ted Williams at the plate. Williams got on safely, driving in a run his last time up. There's a pop foul, and it's going to land safely.
Come on, buddy. Yes. Yeah.
There's another pop foul. And no chance that time. There's a pop foul territory on the bounce, and it's caught on the bounce for the out.
Now,
So 2 hands down. That's going to bring up Skinny. Skinny was just asking, since people get courtesy runners, could he get a courtesy batter? It was met by a degree of derision. Ground ball up the middle, picked up there, throw over to first, and it's in time. So that's 3 hands, and the All-Stars pick up no runs that time around, so the score remains Rum River Rovers 8 and the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars 1 on NLWN 2.
Midwest Environmental Consultants, your partner and guide. From soil testing to landscapes, they cover it all. Lawn care and beauty, they're ready to call. With expertise in the ground, they'll analyze what's there. Call 608-468-2067 and let's get started. You deserve the best.
And we are back here at Pioneer Village between Cameron and Barron and ready to go to the top of the 6th inning. Due up is the top of the order for Rum River Rovers, Big Willie, Jet, and Bubba. Sea Legs now on the mound for the All-Stars. And the first pitch misses. We talked a little bit ago about the sawdust line at home plate, and there's a fly ball out into right field. And it gets past the fielder, rounding first, heading to second. He's rounding second, and he's going to push it to third, and he's in safely with a triple. So Big Willie triples to get things started in the top of the 6th inning. That's going to bring up Jet. Jet grounded to short and scored a run. There's a fly ball out towards right field. Kind of found the gap in no man's land there, and 1 run is in, and checking in at second is Jet. That makes it 9-1. The Rum River Rovers on top, and Bubba steps to the plate. There's a ground ball, stopped at first, picked up by Sugar and steps on the base. 1 hands down.
Hold on the babe. Hold on the line, right? Just keep watching both plays.
So at the plate now is Chopper. There's a fly ball out towards right field. And caught on the hop. Two hands down. I believe Jet came in and scored on that.
That's right.
And there's a fly ball out towards center field. And it fell in. So Ankles is on safely. And that'll bring up Nessie. Nessie fouled out to left field. And then one that was fielded by the second baseman going hard to his left, and then he stepped on first. And ground ball over to third, and it gets passed out into left field. So now 2 runners on. Ankles at second, Nessie at first, and Smug comes to the plate. And there's a fly ball and caught by the shortstop for the third hand down. So they picked up a couple of runs that half inning, and the Rovers expanded their lead to 10-1 over the All-Stars on NLWN 2.
NLWN 2 is excited to bring you Colfax Viking football. Our next broadcast will be on Friday, August 28th, when the Colfax Vikings host the Olivestrom Cardinals. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 28th on NLWN 2.
And we are back here at Pioneer Park. And leading things off in the bottom of the 6th inning is Justice. And the ball is fouled away. And there's a fly ball out into left field, and checking in at first base is Justice. And a ground ball, and it gets past second on the fielding play, and now there are 2 runners on. That's going to bring up Wildwood, and he pops it up in the infield. And making the catch is the first baseman coming in. So 1 hand down brings up Sugar. And Sugar steps up. And he chops that one foul. Throw over to third. Actually, it landed fair first. And they get the force out at third. Sugar is safe at first. That's one of the rule changes that we didn't go over yet. Wherever the ball lands initially is what determines whether it's foul or fair. And that one landed fair first and then went foul, but it's still a fair ball. Stash hits it deep out into right field, moving over and making the catch. And that's the third hand down. So we've completed 6 innings on NLWN2.
Sunset House Motel and RV Park in Port Mansfield, Texas, is your destination for your next fishing or hunting adventure. With 20 rooms available including condos and RV spots, Sunset House Motel and RV Park is the place where outdoor sports people stay when they're looking for fishing and hunting adventures. Sunset House Motel and RV Park is located only a few blocks from the dock and is within walking distance to all the local restaurants. Call them at 956-944-2182 to book your stay. That's Sunset House Motel and RV Park in Port Mansfield, Texas.
And we're back here at Pioneer Park, heading into the top of the 7th inning. Rum River Rovers leading the All-Stars 10-1. Due up for Rum River are Mongo, but followed by Smalls and String Bean. Mongo scored a pair of runs. And he watches the first pitch go by.
We'll see. We got that one.
And the next pitch he watches go by. And a foul ball almost caught by the behind. And he takes some razzing from the arbitrator. Stash made his comments. Fly ball, foul territory, and it bounced a couple times. So Mongo's still at the plate. And that one's a little bit deep for what would have been a ball in modern baseball. And that one's low. I should remind you that the couple of ads that you've seen for Colfax Viking football are actually a week off. They open their season this Friday against the Augusta Beavers at Colfax High School. And our coverage will begin at 6:40. And that one got past the behind and past the fire pit that's behind me.
Thank you, Bubba. Yep. I had this nice backstop. Yep.
And there's a ground ball picked up by short, throw over to first, and he held on. So that's going to bring up Smalls. Fouled out to the catcher and reached as far as first his last time up. And he does have a courtesy runner.
Really? And
And there's a pop-up. It's a fair ball. That's another one of those. It's where it hits first, and it bounced fair, even though it went foul afterward. So Smalls is safe on first.
yeah. Smoke one. I know. Yeah.
He watches the first pitch.
Bob, you there?
And that one missed. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Rum River Rovers leading 10-1. There's a line shot and right into the hands. Throw back to first. Not going to be in time for the double play, but String Bean lines out to short. 2 hands down. Brings up 2-bit.
Game. Looks like
2-bit has reached and scored and also flew out to right on the bounce. And there's a chopper down the third baseline. It started fair, and everybody advances. And checking in at third is Smalls. And 2-bit is going to be safe at second. Back to the top of the order, Big Willie at the plate. Big Willie's 2 for 3. Reached and scored twice. Also flew out to right field on the bounce. And there's a fly ball out towards center field, and it bounces and not caught. And a run comes in. So that'll put Jet at the plate. Jet is also 2 for 3. Reached twice and scored.
Yeah.
It's now 11-1. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
That was a shot.
And Jet watches that one. And another one watched. Sugar on the mound. It's not much of a mound. As I was starting to say a while back, there is a sawdust line out there for the pitcher as well. He must deliver the ball from behind that line. And there's a fly ball out towards right field. It bounces and is caught on the bounce. And that's 3 hands. So we've played 6.5 innings. It's time now for the 7th inning stretch on NLWN 2.
Debt doesn't have to be complicated. Let Marine Credit Union simplify your debt. so you can feel good about your money. Schedule time to get started at marinecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
1960s. However, it is the middle of the 7th inning, which means it's time to run. Boys, I'm not going to start until you stand up. Only an acronym, but it's kind of funny. Here we go. Take me out of the water. Take me out in the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers. Out of every time we get back for it. We can run up. Stay with you today.
It's a bit of an anachronism. In other words, it wasn't invented in the 1860s, but it is such a baseball tradition. Take me out to the ball game in the 7th inning stretch. And getting things started in the bottom of the 7th inning is Sparky the second. And caught on the bounce out in center field. For one hand, Henry comes to the plate. He grounds it over towards third. Picked up there, throw over to first, and it's in time. That'll bring up Jed. A ground ball right down the third base line, fair ball. And Jed is safe at first. So Sparky is up. He's reached twice. He's 2 for 2.
There was a time, Glenn. There was a time. Be careful. Yeah. Oh, come on. Myself fancy.
We're in the bottom of the 7th. Rum River Rovers leading 11-1. And Sparky watches one. And Sparky watches another one. That one he pops up on the third base line, and the catch is made. So, we have now played 7 innings, and it's the Rovers 11 and the St. Croix Valley All-Stars 1 on NLWN 2.
NLWN 2 is excited to bring you Colfax Viking football. Our first broadcast will be on Friday, August 21st, when the Colfax Vikings host the Augusta Beavers. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 21st on NLWN 2.
And we're back here at Pioneer Village. Heading to the top of the 8th inning. And due up for the Rum River Rovers, we have Bubba, followed by Chopper and Ankles. There's a fly ball out into left field. Takes one hop and goes over the rope into the barn. Bubba around second. He's headed for third. And he's going to stay right there. That's going to bring up Chopper. Chopper has flown out all 3 times up. And there's a short fly ball out into center field. Bounces a couple times, and we have a run coming in to score.
No.
It makes it 12-1. And Ankles has watched several go by. And he watches that one. He had an ocean that time. There's a pop-up. It's going to be foul territory, but on the bounce, and it's caught.
Good job. He doubled off first base. On a ball half.
So, with one out, still have runners at first and second, or runner at first, I should say. Nessie at the plate. Shoots that one out into right field. And it's caught with a diving catch out there. That was a nice play out in right field. Catching it on the bounce with a diving catch. That'll bring up Smug. A Chopper back out to the mound, fielded by second, throw to first, and he can't hang on. And we have runners on the corners. 2 hands, and Mongo at the plate. Mongo's 2 for 3.
Like the last 3. Well, they were pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, we're not getting them.
That line shot over short. One-handed catch by the shortstop. And that is the 3rd hands down. So we have completed 7.5 innings. And it's the Rovers 12, All-Stars 1 on NLWN NLWN2.
NLWN2 is excited to bring you Colfax Viking football. Our first broadcast will be on Friday, August 21st, when the Colfax Vikings host the Augusta Beavers. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 21st on NLWN2.
We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Due up for the All-Stars. We have Ohio, Sea Legs, and Ted Williams. And Ohio fouls it back behind the plate. Unable to be caught there. Now a fly ball out into center field. And Ohio reaches safely. Brings up Sea Legs. Sea Legs flew out to right on the bounce and then reached safely, but did not score. There's a fly ball to right field. Drifting over, and the ball bounces twice. Sea Legs has to wait for Ohio. And now they have runners at second and third. Ohio had to hold up a little bit to see if that ball was caught, and that put them precariously close. And it brings up Ted Williams. And he takes one in the back, but in vintage ball, that does not give you a base. And there's a pop foul into the crowd. Nice crowd here today. Scattered sunshine. Mid-70s. Wind is out of the north. There's a little bit of bite in that wind.
Oh, good judgment. Oh, you're
There's a foul back behind the crowd.
That doesn't. Yeah, keep that. Better first. Well, that's what he was going. I'll play short.
Now they get the ball back in. And Ted Williams at the plate.
Oh, charge him out.
And that one's high and away. And that one misses. And there's a fly ball. And that's caught in foul territory. So one hand's down, two runners on still. Skinny at the plate. Skinny is fouled out and grounded to short.
Love that one.
And there's a fly ball out into left field. One hop, and it's caught out there. Two down. And that's going to bring up Justice. Runners at second and third. I know the All-Stars would like to get a run or two yet. Try to make the score respectable. There's a ground ball down the third base line. There's the one run. Here comes the second run. Throw to the plate, and they're not going to get him. As Sea Legs comes in to score the second run.
Nice running, Sea Legs.
On the base hit by Justice. Making it 12-3. And there's a ground ball foul by Eastside. Although that time he hit it to the south side. And another one to the south side. And he's still watching. We will have another game, so to speak, coming up in just a couple moments. Well, following the conclusion of this one, I should say. And the throw to first is in time. And that means after 8 innings, it's the Rum River Rovers 12 and the All-Stars 3 on NLWN 2.
Marine Credit Union is rewarding you for making on-time loan payments with our My Loan Rewards program. Take out a loan, open a checking account with a qualified direct deposit, and get money back. Chart your course. Get details at marinecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
And we're back here at Pioneer Village. And we're heading to the 9th inning. Want to remind you, today's vintage baseball game is being brought to you by the Marine Credit Union with offices in Eau Claire at 3604 Oakwood Hills Parkway, and whose team is there to guide you. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care, soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Slayton's Technology, the official IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. The Sunset House and RV Park in Port Mansfield, Texas, your best choice for your next hunting and fishing adventure. And the Chippewa Valley Museum, where they can help you connect with the roots of the valley in Carson Park. Make sure you thank these sponsors for bringing you vintage baseball. This is Smalls at the plate for the Rum River Rovers. He has a courtesy runner. Smug is the courtesy runner, and he takes off, and it's caught on the bounce. That's going to bring up String Bean. And there's a chopper back to the pitcher, and it was on the first bounce. And Sugar caught it. And that's going to bring up 2 bits. Swings and misses. 2 bits is 2 for 3. Reached and scored back in the 3rd inning. He watches that one. He also flew out to right on the bounce in the 5th inning. And then in the 7th inning, he reached and advanced as far as second base. There's a fly ball out into right field and missed on the bounce. It took a strange hop, And 2 Bits is going to check into second. Back to the top of the order. And it's going to bring up Big Willie. 2 down.
Yep.
And he watches the first pitch go by.
Yeah.
And there's a fly ball out towards center field. Stash coming over. He can't make the catch on the bounce. He tried. It bounced kind of behind him. He reached back. He had his hands on it. He just couldn't hang on. So that puts runners on the corners. 2 Bits is on third. Big Willie on first. And Jet is at the plate. And a shot almost took off the head of Sugar on the mound, and it goes out into center field for a base hit. That's going to score 2 Bit. And it puts Big Willie on second. Big Willie on second, Jet on first, Bubba at the plate. It's now 13-3, Rovers on top. And a fly ball out into right field. It's into the tree and not caught on the bounce. And there's a shot out into right center field. Picked up out there. 1 run is in. And rounding third and coming to the plate with the second run. So Big Willie scores. Jet scores. And Bubba is on first. (15-3). A Chopper at the plate. Chopper is 1 for 4. Flew to center. Flew to the first baseman on the bounce. He hits that one over to second. Kind of got tangled between the legs of the second baseman, and he's safe at first. Moves Bubba over to second. And Ankles comes to the plate. He watches the first one. As I was saying, we're going to have another game coming up after this one. There's a pop-up. And off the bounce and out of play. It's going to be a little bit different game. The Sand Creek 9 will be playing, it's almost like 2 mini games. A 4-inning game against the Rum River Rovers, and then they will play a 5-inning game against the Menomonie Blue Caps. There's a ground ball over to third, gets through into left field, and the bases are now loaded. That's going to bring up Nessie. And he watches the first one. And there's a ground ball foul down the first baseline. And the pitch, fly ball out into right field. Takes a couple of hops out there. One run is in. Here comes the second run. And the cowbell rings.
I have to run the whole. Talk to me. Come here.
That makes it 17-3. And short fly ball to the third baseman. And we have a new score after the top of the ninth inning. It's the Rum River Rovers 17, the All-Stars 3 on NLWN 2.
NLWN2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menomonie Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, August 24th, as the Blue Caps will play at a vintage baseball event in Lawton, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, August 24th, on NLWN2.
We go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and the All-Stars have their work cut out for them. Wildwood comes to the plate. He watches the first one. All-Stars trailing 17-3. And there's a ground ball picked up by short. Throw over to first. And not handled well over there. So Wildwood is safe at first.
Much as an arm, but that was that. Yeah.
And the first pitch is not swung at by Sugar. He watches the second one. Runner on first. And that one misses. Stash is on deck. Ground ball. Over to third, throw to second for one, throw to first. And he's safe at first. So, one away. And Stash comes to the plate with a runner on first. And he watches the first pitch.
I learned something from Steve.
And there's a fly ball out towards right field. Right fielder coming in, gets it on the bounce. And safe at second is Sugar. So, two hands down. Sparky the second is at the plate with the final opportunity for the All-Stars. Fly ball out towards right. off the tree and makes a couple of bounces. And there's a ground ball down the first baseline, and it gets past. Runner rounds third, coming to the plate, and nope, he's going to be chased back to third, and they say, yeah, you just go back. So Sugar's on third. Sparky the second is on first. And Henry comes to the plate. Henry's 0 for 3. Popped out to the catcher on the bounce. Watches the first one. Dropped to second and grounded to third. Still waiting for one of his liking. And there's a foul ball called by the arbitrator. Took him a little while to make that call.
I have picking. It took me a while. Oh. Not gonna matter, bro. You ready? Okay.
So now they got the discussion figured out. Swung on a miss for a strike. And there's a chopper foul. So Henry's still at the plate. 2 down, 2 on. Swing and a miss. That's 2 strikes. Well, this could be a momentous occasion. We have yet to see a strikeout in all the time. So here's the pitch. There's a ground ball over to short. Picked up by String Bean. Throw over to first is in time. And that will do it. So the final score in the first game that we have for you today is the Rum Rovers 17 and the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars 3. And we'll get the post-game festivities before we take a break for our next game.
You have now, Steve. drag out here, Flash. You're taking for day. Come up, trying to play baseball, baseball. All right. Let's give it 3 hurrahs. So take Troy baseball. And for the rubber. What they give it comes in. Top guy, big Roy, big Ken, big Daniel, and John, and Kevin, and I don't know. I'm done. All right, 3 of us. Hit it! Hit it! Hit it! Rover! Let's go, Katie! Coming up! Please, on the left. The left, please. Yeah, no, he goes.
And so that's going to wrap up our first game today with the Rum River Rovers defeating the St. Croix Valley All-Star, St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars 17-3, and we will have our next game coming up right after this timeout on NLWN TV, or NLWN 2.
Hello, Fiends. I will be happy to be your guide on NLWN TV and NLWN2's Halloween Spooktacular for 2026, where we will bring you some of the finest in Halloween-themed old-time radio programs from the golden days of radio. We will enjoy a visit to the Aldrich family, followed by that couple on Wistful Vista Lane with Fibber McGee and Molly. Then we'll hear from our favorite English teacher, our Miss Brooks, and wrap things up with an adventure with Sam Spade Detective. That's Halloween night beginning at 7 p.m. on both NLWN TV and NLWN
2. Don't go away. We'll have more Blue Caps baseball coming your way on NLWN 2 right after this timeout.
Midwest Environmental Consultants, your partner and guide. From soil testing to landscapes, they cover it all. Lawn care and beauty, they're ready to call. With expertise in the ground, they'll analyze what's there. Call 608-468-2067 and let's get started. You deserve the best.
NLWN2 is excited to bring you Colfax Viking football. Our first broadcast will be on Friday, August 21st, when the Colfax Vikings host the Augusta Beavers. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 21st on NLWN2.
Well, welcome back to Pioneer Park between Cameron and Barron, and our second game, and it's a ground ball through to left field by the Rum River Rovers. It's going to go into the machine shed out there, and rounding second, he's heading to third, and he's going to check in at third. That's Big Willie leading things off for the Rum River Rovers. This is oh, that's Jet. Okay. That's because Big Willie was getting food. Okay.
Last lineup.
All right, so Big Willie goes down to the bottom of the lineup. So Jet is the one who sent it out into the machine shed. And there's a ground ball through the hole into right field, and that's going to score the first run of the game for the Rum River Rovers. They are a combined team with the Menomonie Blue Caps. That's Bubba that singled out to right field. The Rovers are playing the first 4 innings, and then the Blue Caps are playing the last 5 innings of this game against the Sand Creek 9. So Chopper is at the plate. He'll be followed by Ankles. There's a fly ball out into center field, falls in for a base hit, and 2 runners are on. Then comes Nessie, Smug, Mongo, Smalls, Vincent, Beans, and Big Willie. Big Willie was out getting food, so he got moved from the leadoff spot to the bottom of the lineup. Sand Creek 9 will be the home team for this game. Ground ball out into right field for a base hit. And coming in to score is Bubba. So 2-0. And Nessie is at the plate. There's a fly ball. Foul territory and dropped on the hop. Congratulations to the Chippewa River Baseball League. The Tilden Tigers have won the state championship in Division A, and the Whitehall Whitetails won the state championship in Division B. So the CRBL comes away with 2 state champions. Ground ball out into left field, throw over to first, and they got the out at first, but a run comes in to score. Puts Ankles over on second. There's a fly ball caught out at second base. For 2 hands down. And Mongo comes to the plate. And he watches the first one. And watches another. And he chops that one over towards third. Scooped up there, throw to first, and they make the play. So that's going to wrap up the top of the first inning, but not before the Rum River Rovers pick up 3 runs, and we've played a half inning. Rovers and Blue Caps 3, and the Sand Creek 9 coming to bat on NLWN 2.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And the Chippewa Valley Museum wants to remind you that you still have time to visit the exhibit, US at 250. This exhibit invites visitors to consider how objects, some common, some not so common, connect us all from coast to coast. It also allows guests to think more deeply about the great American experiment. For more information, call the museum at 715-834-7871. We go to the bottom of the first inning for the Sand Creek 9. We have Donkey, Broadster, and Taffy. And Donkey sends it out into left field for a base hit. That's going to bring up Roadster. And he chops that one over towards second. And that gets through. So 2 runners on. That's going to bring up Taffy. 2 on. Taffy watches the first one. And that's inside. There's a fly ball out towards center field. Lands, caught on the bounce. And the runners each advance, but it is a hands down. That'll bring up Zippy. She watches the first one. And chops at that one, and it's caught on the bounce for an out. That'll bring up Nelly. 2 hands down. Courtesy runner for Nelly, and it will be Zippy. There's a shot over towards third. Fire to first. That's not going to be in time. And 1 run is in. The second run comes in as the ball got away. Zippy's on second. Ball's in the woods. Zippy's heading towards third. Throw over to third, and she's safe.
Come on, come on. Oh,
And she is out at third for overrunning the bag and getting tagged. She thought it was a force, and it wasn't. But she stepped off the bag and got tagged. But 2 runs came in. And so she is out at third. So we've played an inning, and the score, the Rum River Rover Blue Caps 3 and the Sand Creek 9-2 on NLWN 2.
When tech goes on the fritz and frustration kicks in, Sladen's technology where your trusty can. From nowhere to backups, we've got what you need. Call us up, we'll plant the seed. Sladen's on the way, your heroes in disguise. For businesses large and small, we're the ultimate prize. 715-864-2833, get the IT help you desire. Call 715-864-2833 today.
And we're back here. And top half of the second inning for the Rovers Blue Caps. This is Smalls, then Vincent, and Beans are due up. And there's a chopper down the first baseline. Throw to first, and that's in time. This will bring up Vincent. That pitch is down low. Swing and a miss on that one. That's strike 1. And there's a pop-up, foul territory, and it's out of play.
Make sure that label's up, right? You know that, right? Talking about? Make sure the label. Don't touch it, it's on.
And there's a shot out into left field. That's caught on the bounce. Two hands down. That brings up Beans. And there's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Throw over to first. It's in time. He did not hang on, so he's going to be safe at first. That should bring up Big Willie. He was supposed to be the leadoff hitter, but was busy getting food. Stash, the arbitrator, says he's got a small fuel tank and needs to refill it. Hey, it's a fly ball out into center field, and the catch on the bounce makes the third hand. So we've completed an inning and a half, and it's still the Rovers Blue Caps 3 and the Sand Creek 9-2 on NLWN TV or NLWN 2.
NLWN2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menomonie Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, August 24th, as the Blue Caps will play at a vintage baseball event in Lawton, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, August 24th on NLWN2.
Now we're back here at Pioneer Park. 3-2 is the score. And that one's hit out into center field by Gus. That's going to bring up Ginger. She watches the first one. And there's a chopper over towards first. Flip to the pitcher, covering the bag, and a nicely executed play. 3-1 covering for the first hand. It did move Gus over to second. And it's going to bring up Pork Chop. And swing and a miss. And he got a piece of it, and it bounced, and so he fouled out. He got just a piece of it. There's a fly ball by Jackie out into center field. It bounces over the center fielder through the rope and out into the machine shed. One run is in to score. Rounding third, coming toward the plate. And in to score with a home run is Jackie. A two-run shot, making the Sand Creek 9 take the lead 4-3. Fun Size comes to the plate. And he watches the first one. High pop-up in the infield. Pitcher runs over and catches it. And up to the plate comes, well, no, that's the third hands down. So we've completed 2. And it's the Sand Creek 9-4, and the Rover Blue Caps are 3 on NLWN TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
We head into the top of the third inning. Leading things off is Jet. This is the Rovers half of this team. They will play the first 4 innings, and then the primarily Blue Caps half will play the second 5 innings. There's a fly ball out to right field, and it's caught on the bounce. And that's going to bring up Bubba. Bubba got on and scored his first time up. Bubba keeps watching. So far, nothing to his liking. There's a shot out into right field on the bounce and caught after being bobbled about 3 times. Caught out there. That'll bring up Chopper with 2 hands down. It bounced, went into his hands, bounced up into the air again, finally hauled in. And that first pitch is watched go by. And he keeps watching. And there's a shot right back up through the middle. And so Chopper is safe at first. That'll bring up Ankles. Runner on first now with 2 down. And there's a shot out in, well, off the hands of the first baseman and out into right field. Chopper heads over to third as Ankles is safe at first. And Nessie is headed to the plate. Runners on the corners. 4-3, the Sand Creek 9 are leading the Rovers Blue Caps combined team. There's a fly ball out into right field and moving back and unable to make the play. It goes past the rope line and 1 run is in. Second run is coming in and Nessie checks in at second. Put Sand Creek on top 6-3. Or check that. I gave that to the wrong team. It's Rovers 5 and Sand Creek 4. And there's pop up out into left field, caught on the bounce, and that's the third hand. But not before the Rum River Rovers and Menomonie Blue Caps teams scores a couple more, making the score 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the third on NLWN TV, or NLWN 2.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back in the first pitch is fouled back, but unable to be caught by Mongo. This is Milkman at the plate. And there is a pop-up over towards third, moving over and making the catch for the out. Back to the top of the order, that brings up Donkey. And he hits a hard shot and unable to be handled by the third baseman. And Donkey's safe at first. That was a line drive down the third base line, and the third baseman got his hands on it, just couldn't quite pull it in. Broadster at the plate. And there's a ground ball through the hole, picked up by the shortstop, throw over to first. It's not in time. Heading over towards third is Donkey. Donkey's going to be safe on first as Broadster singles. So 2 on, runners on the corners. Taffy at the plate. 1 out. He hits a fly ball into shallow left field. And the catch is made. And Mongo is going to chase Donkey back to third. That'll bring up Zippy. With 2 runners on, 2 hands down. A swing and a miss. Mongo looking at his hands to see if there's a hole in there somewhere. He says, a hole in my head. And a short tapper right out in front of the plate. And she is safe at first, and the run comes in to score. And Zippy, bunts are not allowed, but that's about as close to a swinging bunt as I've ever seen. And that ties the game at 5. And Nelly steps to the plate. We have a courtesy runner for Nelly. And there's a shot out into center field. That's going to fall in. Runner rounds third. He's coming toward the plate, and that ball gets away into the crowd. And a young man picks up the ball, gives it to Mongo, and everybody's where they were. So Broadster comes in to score. Zippy ends up on third, and Nelly ends up on second. Put Sand Creek back on top, 6-5. And Gus is at the plate. And he hits a short hopper back out to the pitcher who caught it on one hop. And that'll do it in the third inning for the Sand Creek 9, but we have a new score, Sand Creek 9-6, and the Rum River Rovers Blue Caps 5 on NLWN 2.
Midwest Environmental Consultants, your partner and guide. From soil testing to landscapes, they cover it all. Lawn care and beauty, they're ready to call. With expertise in the ground, they'll analyze what's there. Call 608-468-2067 and let's get started. You deserve the best.
And we are ready to go to the top of the fourth inning. Mongo at the plate. And the first pitch to Mongo is watched as Zippy tosses it back to the mound. And he watches another one. Mongo grounded to third his last time up. This time it's a fly ball out to right field, coming in and making the catch on the bounce. So, one hand's down, brings up Smalls. And that one missed, at least to his, not to his liking. There's a fly ball out into left field, falls in, but caught on the bounce. Two hands down, brings up Vincent. Swing and a miss by Vincent. And there's a blooper over towards short and fielded on the hop. And that's three hands down. That's the end of the top of the fourth inning. With the score, the Sand Creek 9 have 6 and the Rum River Rovers have 5 on NLWN 2.
Yeah, we're the Vikings, hear us roar. Colfax pride, we're ready to soar.
NLWN 2 is excited to bring you Colfax Viking football.
Friday night lights, we lace up.
Our first broadcast will be on Friday, August 21st, when the Colfax Vikings host the Augusta Beavers. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview.
Got nothing to hide.
That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 21st on NLWN 2.
And the first pitch to start the bottom of the fourth inning to Ginger, and she watched it go by. She watches another. And she watches another. And another. And there's a fly ball out into right field, and it's caught on the hop. That's going to bring up Pork Chop. Pork Chop fouled out to the catcher on the bounce. His last time up. And there's a ground ball over towards second. Throw over to first in time. 2 down. And up steps Jackie. And there's a high pop-up on the bounce, and it falls out of play.
Just didn't have time. Daughter's schedule is going to be for softball. Yeah, she does speed, so.
And so he'll step back to the plate. This is fun size.
Yeah. Now I'm softball on Wednesdays. So.
Oh, I think they're going to get 4 outs out of it. Oh, no, he's safe at first. Okay.
How do you like this?
And so fun size bloops it out into left field. It's caught out there. And so that's going to do it for the 4th inning, and we will be back right after this timeout with the second half of this game on NLWN2.
Sunset House Motel and RV Park in Port Mansfield, Texas, is your destination for your next fishing or hunting adventure. With 20 rooms available including condos and RV spots, Sunset House Motel and RV Park is the place where outdoor sports people stay when they're looking for fishing and hunting adventure. Sunset House Motel and RV Park is located only a few blocks from the dock and is within walking distance to all the local restaurants. Call them at 956-944-2182 to book your stay. That's Sunset House Motel and RV Park in Port Mansfield, Texas.
Okay, we're ready for the second half of this game, and my scorebook is all messed up. But anyway, 2-bit leading things off for the Rum River, or check that, for the for the Rovers Blue Caps. And he lines that one foul. There's a ground ball. Throw over to first. And he's safe. Well, I misunderstood what was happening. We're back to the top. Our Big Willie, it should have been the top originally, but Sand Creek 9 are the team that's taking the break, and they almost sent the fielder right into the pickup truck driving out. So 2 hands down, and we have Jet at the plate. And he sends one right into the arms of the third baseman. And that's going to bring up Bubba. And Bubba will be followed by Chopper. And the pitch. There's a fly ball out towards second base and caught on the hop. So that takes care of the top of the fifth inning. And the score is the Rum River Rovers have 5, and what is actually Sand Creek and the Menomonie Blue Caps have 6 on NLWN 2.
Debt doesn't have to be complicated. Let Marine Credit Union simplify your debt so you can feel good about your money. Schedule time to get started at marinecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
And we're back here to start the bottom of the fifth inning. At the plate is String Bean, or String. And he'll be followed by Donkey and then Taffy. There's a chopper over towards third and not handled. And so he is safe at first. And there's a ground ball over towards third. And long throw to first is not going to be in time. Runners advance. As Donkey is safe at first. String is on third. And it's going to bring up Sealeg, or Taffy. Taffy at the plate. Watches a couple go by. And another one. And there's a shot out into left center field. Couple of hops, and so throw comes to third, and the runner advances. 1 run comes in. So Taffy is on second. Donkey is on third. String came in to score. And there's a fly ball out into right field. Over the rope and out into the parked cars. Run coming in. Donkey has already scored. Taffy comes in to score. And here comes Sealeg with his home run. That's the score 10-5. And a pop up, and it landed foul. And there's a shot out into left field. And Jackie is safe. And that's going to bring up Yo-Yo. And Yo-Yo pops it up in the infield. Center fielder moves over, makes a catch. That's one hand down. Jackie comes in. Yo-Yo stayed out at first to run. Vincent at the plate.
Force on a second.
He dropped the ball, and the force was at second and caught on the bounce, falling over. So looking to see we have two hands down. Beans is at the plate. Long fly ball out into left field. That's out in the machine shed. Yo-Yo comes in to score. Rounding third and heading over is Beans. Or rounding second, heading to third is Beans. And I'm not sure who we have here. Ground ball. But he's safe at first, and Beans came in to score. And Stash is at the plate. Has a fly ball and caught out in center field. So that's the third hands down as we've completed 5 innings. But it's now we'll call them the 9 Blue Caps for the Sand Creek 9 and the Menomonie Blue Caps combined 11 and the Rum River Rovers 5 on NLWN 2.
NLWN2 is excited to bring you Colfax Viking football. Our first broadcast will be on Friday, August 21st, when the Colfax Vikings host the Augusta Beavers. Coverage begins at 6:40 p.m. with Viking Preview. That's live Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 21st on NLWN2.
And we're in the top of the 6th inning. Rum River Rovers at the plate. And this should be Chopper. And he hits it out into left field. And he's going to be safe at first. That's going to bring up... All right, guess it was a single bounce. I thought that maybe bounced twice, but it was a single bounce. So one hand's down. Brings up ankles. There's a fly ball out towards right field. The Yo-Yo over there, he makes a play on the bounce. And that's going to bring up Nessie. And he hits a fly ball out towards second base and making the catch out there. That's 3 hands down, and we've completed 5.5 innings. And it's the 9 Blue Caps, 11, and the Rovers 5 on NLWN 2.
Marine Credit Union is rewarding you for making on-time loan payments with our My Loan Rewards program. Take out a loan, open a checking account with a qualified direct deposit, and get money back. Chart your course. Get details at marinecu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
And we're ready to get things started here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up. Top of the order for the Blue Caps and String Bean. And he hits a fly ball. And he was out. So 1 hand's down. Brings up Donkey. That one's high. This is a combined Menomonie Sand Creek team. This is the Blue Caps version of it. And caught on the hop field. And Taffy is safe at first. That'll bring up Sea Legs. And that one went through the behind and all the way through our broadcast facility and all the way another 30 feet beyond us. Sea Legs waiting for one that suits him. There's a hard shot, but off the tree, and they called it foul because it landed foul. And there's a pop foul, and not quite handled by the behind. And there's a fly ball out into left center field. Hits the ground, but caught on the bounce. So we've completed 6, and the score, the 9 and Blue Caps 11 and the Rovers 5 on NLWN 2.
NLWN 2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menomonie Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, August 24th, as the Blue Caps will play at a vintage baseball event in Lawton, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, August 24th, on NLWN 2.
And we are getting ready here, and the batter steps out of the box. As this should be Smug, followed by Vincent. Or Mongo, I should say. And the throw over to first in time. So grounding to short was Smug. Now Mongo coming to the plate. That one's down low. Had a hard shot out to short. Throw over to first. It's not going to be in time. As Mongo reaches safely, that'll bring up Smalls. And we have a courtesy runner going to be in there for Smalls.
Little small.
Little Smalls, okay. Smalls watches a couple. And fouled, and the behind can't quite make that play. Again, in vintage baseball, foul balls do not count as strikes. And there's a pop-up, and that's foul. And there's a fly ball. Second base made the catch. Throw over to first, not going to be in time for the double play. And I think this is 2-bit.
A lot faster than me.
There's a fly ball out towards right center field. And a good attempt at making the catch on the hop, but not able to get it. So that puts Mongo on third, 2-bit at first, and takes us back to Jet at the top of, or take that back. Big Willie is at plate.
Yeah.
That's a line shot over to second, and on the one hop. So we've completed 6.5. Time for the 7th inning stretch on NLWN2.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp, Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
And the Chippewa Valley Museum wants to remind you that you still have some time to visit the U.S. at 250. This exhibit invites visitors to consider how objects, some of which are common, some are not so common, connect us all from coast to coast. It also allows guests to think more deeply about the great American experiment. For more information, call the museum at 715-834-7871. We're heading to the bottom of the seventh inning, and due up for the Blue Caps, we have Jackie, Yo-Yo, and Vincent. And Jackie lines it out into left field for a base hit. The 9 Blue Caps, 11 Rovers 5. Bottom of the seventh. Yo-Yo at the plate. He lines one right back up the middle over towards second, and stepping on the bag for the force out at second. So Yo-Yo's on a fielder's choice. And Jackie is out at second. So one hand down. Brings up Vincent. And that one's inside.
He is. He does little projects. He's doing fine. Manfield's shit.
And the pitch. There's a fly ball out into left field. It falls in on the hop. Throw to second, and I don't know if they got the tag or not. Catch was made on the hop. Yeah, they did make the tag at second. So that's the third out of the bottom of the seventh, and the score remains the 9 Blue Caps 11 and the Rovers 5 on NLWN 2.
Hello, Fiends. I will be happy to be your guide on NLWN TV and NLWN2's Halloween Spooktacular for 2026, where we will bring you some of the finest in Halloween-themed old-time radio programs from the golden days of radio. We will enjoy a visit to the Aldrich family, followed by that couple on Wistful Vista Lane with Fibber McGee and Molly. Then we'll hear from our favorite English teacher, our Miss Brooks, and wrap things up with an adventure with Sam Spade Detective. That's Halloween night beginning at 7 p.m. on both NLWN TV and NLWN
2. We're back here at the Pioneer Village, located about halfway between Cameron and Barron. Heading to the top of the 8th inning, Rum River Rovers at the plate. And due up for the Rovers, we have Jet, Bubba, and Chopper. There's a high fly ball out into the outfield foul territory. Bounces once and is caught. So, Jet goes down on the bounce. That brings up Bubba. Bubba is 1 for 3. He scored and then flew out to right and flew out to second, both on the hop. There's a ground ball over towards second, scooped up there, throw to first, in time. So 2 hands down. Chopper at the plate. Chopper's 2 for 3. He scored twice and then flew out to left, which he just did here. He didn't fly out, but it was on the hop and the throw back into the infield. He's going to end up at second. That'll bring up Ankles. That big fifth inning, that 6-run fifth inning for the 9 Blue Caps is the difference in this game. There's a shot out into, well, right into the arm of the second baseman. So we've completed 7.5, and it's the 9 Blue Caps 11, and the Rum River Rovers 5 on NLWN 2.
When tech goes on the fritz and frustration kicks in, Sladen's technology where your trusty can. From nowhere to backups, we've got what you need. Call us up, we'll plant the seed. Sladen's on the way, your heroes in disguise. For businesses large and small, we're the ultimate prize. 715-864-2833, get the IT help you desire. Call 715-864-2833 today.
Bottom of the 8th inning, leading things off for the Blue Caps is Vincent. He did not make the final out because that was someone getting doubled off. It was Yo-Yo being doubled off, and so the lineup picks up where the last out was made. Vincent sends one through the hole and the throw to first, and he's safe at first. It was close, but he beat it. How they'd call him out. He overran the base and got tagged out there. So one hand down, that brings up Beans. There's a pop-up in the infield and making the catch. 2 hands down. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jackie is at the plate. He fouls it back behind.
Ankles doesn't do a good job.
Ankles is the behind, and let that ball go rolling under our broadcast truck. And there's a pop to short for the third out. So we've completed 8 innings. We're going to head to the 9th with the 9 Blue Caps 11 and the Rum River Rovers 5 on NLWN 2.
NLWN2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menomonie Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, August 24th, as the Blue Caps will play at a vintage baseball event in Lawton, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, August 24th, on NLWN2.
So we go to the 9th inning from Pioneer Park. It's the 9 Blue Caps 11, the Rum River Rovers 5. Leading off for the Rovers in the top of the 9th inning is Nessie. And there's a shot out and left foul. There's still a decent crowd here watching vintage baseball from Pioneer Park. It was considerably larger earlier. There's a pop-up out into shallow center field, and they do catch it on the hop. That'll bring up Smug. Smug grounded to short his last time up. And he chops at that one, doesn't get it. Strike one. And there's a pop-up foul territory, and the behind is unable to make the play. And the pitch. There's a short pop-up out towards second and caught on the bounce. And Mongo watches that first pitch go by. And the pitch. Fly ball out towards left field, shallow left field, and that catch is made. And that should do it. That's top of the ninth. I don't know if they're going to play a bottom half. They're going to play the bottom half anyway, just because it's more fun that way. So we'll have that for you right after this timeout on NLWN2.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
So we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. The 9 Blue Caps are going to win this game. They're ahead 11-5, but they're going to play it out anyway. And leading things off is Stash. And he grounds it down towards first. Picked up there, stepped on the bag for the out. So that's one hand. String is at the plate. He lines one out into left field for a base hit. That's going to bring up Donkey. And he fouls that one, and it scooted just past the behind.
It's got actually hot more than a quarter inch.
There's a fly ball out into left field. One hop. Caught there, throw to third, and the runner's going to be safe there. Two hands, and Taffy is at the plate. Swing and a miss. That's strike one. Or as they say, one swinging strike. There's a fly ball out into left field. That one's deep. It's way back and caught on the hop for the third out. That's going to do it. Final score in our second game today is the 9 Blue Caps, 11, the Rum River Rovers 5. The other game that we had today had the Rum River Rovers coming out on top of the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars. $17-3. So we're going to turn it over for the end of game ceremonies.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out. What an awesome day. Beautiful weather. Couldn't ask for better weather. I don't know where Bob went, but I mean, play practice. Oh, well, thanks for doing it. We've been doing this a lot. Give everybody 3 cheers. Hip hip! Top practice afternoon.
I want to thank Bob and Barron County for inviting us. We've been coming here. In fact, this is our very first game of the Rovers against Menomonie 2013. Beautiful place, beautiful area, beautiful day. We're very lucky to play this game. Thank you, GU, conglomerates. I don't know. So an example of how the field plays perfect. So,
that's how you do it, guys.
And they're going to wrap things up with shaking hands, and that's going to wrap things up for us. Once again, the scores we have today in our first game that we covered, the Rum River Rovers defeated the St. Croix Vicinity All-Stars 17-3, and then the Sand Creek 9 Menomonie Blue Caps combined team defeated the Rum River Rovers 11-5, and now they're all going to pose for the picture that they have. And so that's going to wrap things up for us. Make sure you join us on Monday, August 24th, right here on NLWN2, as we bring you more vintage baseball featuring the Menomonie Blue Caps. The Blue Caps will be playing vintage baseball in Lawton, Wisconsin. Coverage begins on the 24th at 7 p.m. on NLWN2. Also, join us on Friday on NLWN2 as we bring you the Colfax Vikings kicking off their 2026 season against the Augusta Beavers in high school football action. Our coverage begins with Viking preview at 6:40, followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax Viking football on Friday, August 21st on NLWN2. Today's vintage baseball games have been brought to you by the Marine Credit Union, with offices in Eau Claire at 3604 Oakwood Hills Parkway, and whose team is there to guide you. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Slayton's Technology, the official IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. The Sunset House and RV Park in Port Mansfield, Texas, your best choice for your next hunting and fishing adventure. And the Chippewa Valley Museum, where you can connect with the roots of the valley in Carson Park. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you vintage baseball on NLWN2. So, for Dan Petshaw on the camera, this is Rick Olson. You've been tuned to NLWN2, and we will see you again on August 24th for more vintage baseball on NLWN2.
Thank you for joining us for Vintage Baseball, 1860s style. On NLWN2 featuring the Menomonie Blue Caps. We now return you back to the present time.
Let me take you back to a time so bright, where the game of baseball danced in the light. In the 1860s, under the sun's warm glow, the Blue Caps were cruising. Oh, what a show! With their caps of blue, they took to the field, swinging wooden bats, no gloves to shield. The crowd was a-roaring, they cheered with delight. Baseball in glory, what a charming sight. With a pop and a crack, the ball took to the sky. Boys in their knickers running wild, oh my, oh my. Let's take a trip in our time machine to see the game in its purest scene. Waves of nostalgia flowing like wine, swinging with the Blue Caps, oh what a time.